Oh, it started recording. Oh, God. I needed to turn on the camera and I needed to talk about my feelings and what's going on. The impetus for this, I just got home from my last class of the semester, which is great. I made it through, but I was driving home and all of a sudden I, for no apparent reason, just started crying. And as someone that doesn't cry hardly ever, I felt like I needed to try to talk out why I felt that way and am still feeling that way. 2020 just needs to not. 2020 needs to stop. Not only has this year just been hard for everyone in every aspect, but it's just been particularly hard for me, not only career-wise. I had my career set up and ready to go, and I was building the career that I wanted. And now here I am back in school because through nobody's fault and no fault of my own, I can't work on that career anymore because I wasn't established enough to make it work where I was. And I have a job lined up for next fall back in Nashville, which is great, but it's for a job that I don't know if it's something that I'm gonna actually enjoy doing with my life, or if I am just listening to people's advice and doing the smart thing financially and making my decisions based on what I think will get me security over the next few years as the world tries to put itself together. And that's not important, don't get me wrong, but I have a lot of time to think right now back home doing nothing. And the biggest thing that I've struggled with this year is an almost crippling sense of loneliness and looking around at my life and feeling so alone. I don't want anyone that I know to see this and feel bad or feel upset by what I'm saying, because people have reached out and I've reached out to people, and I've even reconnected with people from years ago during this time. But as someone who thrives on being around people and in social situations where I'm comfortable with my people and where I feel completely comfortable to be 100,000% myself, I don't have that, and I haven't had that since March. Over the summer wasn't bad because I was seeing friends again, and we made a COVID pod in Nashville, and we saw each other almost every single day, and that was fine. 2020 was supposed to be my year of having fun and making mistakes, falling in and out of love and dating, exploring my life and identity as a gay man and as a queer person, living unapologetically loud, and I haven't been able to do any of that. And I don't know if that has more to do with the state of the world or my state of mind. I was having a hard time before everything with lockdown and COVID because I was thrown out of my comfort zone with a new job, and I wasn't in school anymore, and it was my first time, it was a lot of firsts this year. The overwhelming feeling that 2020 has given me is that everything I spent the last 5 years of my life building and working towards, that none of it was worth it, and that it's all just been snatched away, and I'm never gonna get it back. And it's devastating, and just at times I'm just so pissed off that I can't even think straight. And then on top of that, I have to move away from one of my favorite places in the world, from a city that I had learned to really call home and was building a life there. And I'm now in this fucking tiny town, and I hate small towns. I've hated them for so long. I've hated them for 10 years. I hate small towns. I hate I can't walk around in this town without feeling like my hackles are raised and just like waiting for someone to notice me or say something, and I feel like I'm just stifling myself. And I haven't met anyone. I don't know anyone here. I've met one or two people. One guy said, quote, I was adding too much stress to his life. Another guy is busy with his own shit, and I don't fault him for that. But other than that, I know my parents, and I love my parents to death. I absolutely do. I would do anything for them. Even there's a disconnect. My parents are not the most physically affectionate people. And that is so important to me. That's how I communicate love, and that's what it is. And it's speaking words and saying verbatim, I love you and you matter and you're worth it to me. And I want you to be here. I want you to be in my life. And I don't doubt that my parents think that. I don't doubt any of it. I've never doubted that before, but it's so hard. It's so hard not having it. And I haven't had it since I moved down here. It's been 4 months. There have been a couple occasions where I've gotten just a taste of it from new people here in town. Then for the next 2 weeks, I can't think straight. It's like I'm a junkie and I've had a hit of my poison of choice. I'm not trying to equate emotional availability with drug addiction. I hope no one thinks that. It's the best metaphor that I can think of. You know, I go 2 months without anything, and then I meet someone that is great and really sweet, and we have a great time. Then, you know, because they have a life outside of me and knowing me, they get busy. Then we don't hang for a while. And then I start to feel like I'm coming across as desperate because I want to hang out with them again and I want to feel that again. And it has nothing to do with dating. I have literally no interest in dating right now, but it has everything to do with me being in that situation with this person where in my brain, them wanting to cuddle and talk with me about like real shit is my brain saying, this person cares about you. This is what you've been missing. Do everything you can to get as much of this as you can in as little amount of time as you can. And that's where I'm at. A few days ago, I got my hit, and now Tuesday, November 17th, 2020, I got home and cried in my car for 5 minutes. I've cried more in 2020 than I think I have in the past 5 years. And I need it to stop. And I need it to end. And I'm not even gonna get into how the state of American democracy is making me feel. And I don't even care if nobody cares about this. Me putting this out into the world is my own, I guess, sick and twisted way of validating my own feelings. And I'm depressed. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how else to sugarcoat it. I'm depressed. 2020 has got me depressed, and I have been depressed since March, and I know that I need to see a therapist, and I'm working on that. God, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. This part I'm gonna keep in. But that's it. That's all I got.